Hey friends, how's it going? Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope that you're well. Today's video is a big one. I have an insane amount of stuff to share with you. I'm gonna be going over the best compliment pulling fragrance from each of the major designer brands out there. So for every single brand, at least one fragrance, but no more than two. These are the scents that you need if you're looking for stuff that is extremely easy to wear, very versatile, and consistently pulls positive attention. Now, to be fair, most designer fragrances are made to do those things. It's just some are better than others. And today we're talking about the best of the best. Everything I talk to you about is gonna be linked in the description down below. Like I said, there is a bunch down there. And if you shop for any of these fragrances, make sure to keep these coupon codes in mind because they can save you a pretty good amount of money, especially over the long run. So as you can see listed there, tons of different fragrance discounters and retailers that cover everything from clones to designers to niche. And today, everything is designers. Let's jump straight into it with the first brand, YSL. So when it comes to Yves Saint Laurent, realistically, most of their fragrances are good at pulling compliments. But if I were gonna single out only two, the first one would be Myself Eau de Parfum, which is extremely clean, very classy, and also slightly sweet, along with being very fresh as well. Makes use of orange blossom, a bit of citrus, and ambrofix. And to go along with Myself, I chose Y Eau de Parfum. Now this is the most popular one in the Y lineup. Great performance, also a mixture of fresh and sweet, but realistically you can't go wrong with any of the Y fragrances, as well as most of the L'Homme and La Nuit de L'Homme scents as well. But if only two, it would be those. The next brand is Versace, and we're kicking that one off with Eros Eau de Parfum. This one is kind of that sweet spot between the Eau de Toilette and the Parfum, so it works for more people. Also has great performance and is another great mix of fresh and sweet, which is typically what people gravitate towards. I've said that before, but most of the time, if you're looking for a compliment pulling fragrance, you want it to be either fresh or sweet, or both of those things. The other scent from Versace, Dylan Blue. A great year-round blue fragrance. You can wear that literally anytime that you want. And also, compared to the more expensive blue fragrances like Y Eau de Parfum over here, it is more affordable. The next fragrance house is Ferragamo, and I'm going with Uomo for that. Now, you could also possibly go with Intense Leather, or maybe Aqua Essenziale Blue, but for me, the most consistent compliment puller from Ferragamo has been Uomo. Now this one is gonna be more of a fall winter time fragrance. It has a sweet coffee note in there that comes across like tiramisu, and it does have really good performance for a good price as well. Let's go with Dolce & Gabbana up next, and I'm starting off with Light Blue, and this is the new version of Light Blue. And also you could go with the original version of Light Blue if you prefer to rock that one. Light Blue has been the best-selling fragrance from Dolce & Gabbana for men for a long time, and the reason is because it's easy to wear and it gets compliments. Of course, gonna be more of a summertime fragrance, citrusy, a little bit sea salty, but really, really, really easy to pull off and not too expensive. Also gonna go with the one Eau de Parfum Intense. But I wanna say between this one and also the one Eau de Parfum, I think 6 half dozen. They're both equally good. I just talk about the one Eau de Parfum a little bit more, so I wanted to show some love for this one. So this does have some fresh aspects to it. It has neroli in there, which gives it a nice clean pop when you first spray it on. But then as it dries down, it does warm up a little bit. Some of that sweetness comes out. It has cashmere as well, and it flies under the radar. Not too many people wearing this one, but it works perfectly. For Coach, I'm going with Coach for Men, the original. Also, Coach Platinum, pretty good at pulling compliments. Some people have a lot of luck with Coach Green, but I think the most consistent one, if you're after just ease of use, compliment factor, versatility, it's gonna be the original. Hugo Boss is the next brand, and the first fragrance is the Scent Magnetic. The scent line, really unique. Doesn't really smell like anything else out there. The scent smells like the scent. And when it comes to Hugo Boss in general, most of their fragrances kind of doing their own thing. Like some brands have stuff that's really similar to other things out there. Hugo Boss usually kind of does their own vibe, to an extent anyway. This one makes use of vanilla in a really appealing way. Big time compliment puller, and another one that's kind of under the radar. The next one I'm going with is Boss Bottled Elixir. Although Boss Bottled Absolute also pretty much as good as Elixir, but like I said, it has to be only 2 per brand max. So Boss Bottled Elixir, this one is a little bit more grown up, you know, a little bit more mature, very masculine and woodsy. It works extremely well at elevating whatever you're wearing to the next level, and it also has great performance to boot. Great attention grabber. Let's go Gucci next, and I'm gonna start off with Guilty Love Edition. And that is the newest version, at least as of this video, because there are multiple Love Editions out there. It's the one that's just all pistachio looking. And the idea behind this one is not super far removed from the idea behind Myself. It uses a clean orange blossom in there that's really attractive. People love the way it smells. As juniper in here, which gives it kind of an aromatic touch. And then amberfix, just like Myself. While it doesn't smell the same as Myself, you would use it pretty much the same time, same places, and it has a really nice, sweet aspect to it as well. This one, very, very, very good. The other fragrance from Gucci is another Guilty Black, which is now known as Guilty Essence. And I gotta say, for a brand as big as Gucci, they should probably come out with a new line. Like, everything is Guilty. Guilty Essence, Guilty Elixir, normal Guilty Love Edition. Most major fragrance houses out there have at least a couple different lines. Gucci's been slacking. Now, they used to have another line of fragrances, like the Gucci by Gucci line, but they haven't done anything with that in a while. Anyway, back on track. This is that style of fragrance everybody loves. Very fresh, classy, with a touch of sweetness. And I've said this before, even though the bottle is very dark looking and you would look at that and think, oh, you know, it's gonna be kind of heavy, it's really not. It's actually kind of bright, has some green around the edges, perfect for spring and summer. Victor and Rolf up next. I'm gonna go Spice Bomb Infrared Eau de Parfum. Now, a lot of people would say Spice Bomb Extreme, and that's also really good at getting positive attention, great performance, but Spice Bomb Infrared Eau de Parfum leans more into the sweet side of things. Not that Spice Bomb Extreme has no sweetness, it does with the vanilla and everything, but the way this comes across with this very sweet spiciness off the top, hence the name, Spice Bomb. It works really well for both younger guys and older. So if I'm going one Spice Bomb only, it's gonna be this one if you're after just compliments. Prada up next, who actually just bought Versace not that long ago. We'll see how that affects their fragrances, but Prada Luna Rossa Ocean. A lot of people might look at that one and say it's kind of boring. You know, it's just like a clean, classy blue fragrance, which that is what it is. The one issue some people may have with Luna Rossa Ocean is, for some people, it maybe doesn't have that like one aspect that just sticks in your brain. So like Y and Sauvage and Bleu de Chanel, for a lot of people, there's something in there that when they smell it, they know right away, like, ooh, that's why, right? Luna Rossa Ocean, for some people, they smell it and they go, oh yeah, it's pleasant, it's nice, but I don't know how much I'm gonna remember it. So keep that in mind, but if you're just after versatility, ease of use, compliment factor, one of the best. Also Luna Rossa Carbon, which smells similar to Sauvage. But the other one that I went with is Prada L'Homme Intense. Now, Prada L'Homme is, you know, kind of gone by the wayside as far as Prada is concerned, at least from the outside looking in, that's how it looks. There hasn't been a new Prada L'Homme in years, and it looks like they're concentrating on other things. I would love for that line to stick around though, and Prada L'Homme Intense is one of those ones that is a little more specific in its usage compared to a lot of these others. It's an iris fragrance, a little bit powdery, soapy clean, but then has a nice masculine leather note that kind of reins it in, you know, tethers the fragrance a little bit. That way it doesn't start smelling too soapy to the point that people go, you know, whatever. I don't want to smell like a bar of soap, right? Well, some people do, and actually I've got fragrances that do smell like that are actually really good, but yeah, getting sidetracked again. Fall, winter time, very classy, very sexy, and for the type of person that wants a more honed in fragrance, like a more specific time of use, this stuff is great. Jimmy Choo. I'm gonna go Jimmy Choo Man Intense. Somewhat similar to Coach for Men over here. You know, similar idea, similar scent profile in a lot of ways. A little bit better than the original Jimmy Choo Man, just because the performance, a little bit better with the intense version. It's got lavender and tonka, a decent amount of each, along with melon as one of the notes. So a little bit of a different style of fruit in there. Varvatos, I was struggling a little bit, but I settled on this one, JVX in J. So that's John Varvatos X Nick Jonas. This is another one that is blue fragrance styled, and some people may say, you know, a little bit generic, a little bit boring. But if we're just talking, again, like with Jimmy Choo Man Intense, something that is easy to wear, that is people pleasing, that is. Now, just super quick though, if you want to dive into John Varvatos fragrances, they're not very expensive. And I do think there are much better fragrances from the brand than this one. Artisan Pure, great for summer. Barbados Vintage, a little bit more appealing to guys middle-aged and older, but great quality for the price point. XX Artisan, very nice, similar to Grey Vetiver from Tom Ford, and many, many more, but we gotta keep going. Mont Blanc, we're going with Explorer. Yeah, a little bit similar to Aventus. So fresh off the top, bergamot, citrus as it dries down, fresh woodiness. Extremely easy to wear all year round. And you can find a 2-ounce bottle of that for just under 30 bucks. Trying to find the other Mont Blanc, where'd it go? And the other one I'm gonna go with is Legend Eau de Parfum. Pretty similar to the original Legend. This one is just a little bit deeper, not quite as youthful as the Eau de Toilette, but overall the quality slightly better while keeping a similar scent profile. You could also get Legend Blue, which is maybe leaning a little more toward Percival, a little bit sweeter, but still a similar scent profile. So Legend, Eau de Toilette, Eau de Parfum, or Blue, but I'm gonna go Eau de Parfum here. Let's go Dior up next. Sauvage Eau de Parfum. You have to have a Sauvage. It just is what it is. Sauvage is one of the best compliment pulling fragrances, period. But between the Eau de Toilette, the Eau de Parfum, and the Parfum, I'm gonna go Eau de Parfum. Kind of splits the difference between those two, a little bit smoother than the Eau de Toilette, but still more playful than the Parfum and has a really nice vanilla sweetness in there. Sauvage Elixir also is very good. But for the other Dior, I'm gonna go with this abomination, Dior Homme Parfum. That is the new version of Dior Homme Parfum. So that one, really not similar to the Dior Homme Parfum that came before it. It does lean into more of an ambery sweetness that you might find in a number of different contemporary fragrances nowadays. The opening is pretty nice though, has a really pleasant iris to open things up. And if you're just looking for compliments, because of that sweetness that's in here with a little bit of a freshness off the top, it works extremely well. Guerlain, I'm gonna go L'Homme Ideal Eau de Parfum, also L'Homme Ideal Extreme. That one kind of like 50-50 with this one. Great fragrance, nice almond in there, smooth, sweet, very rich, and has a very prominent cherry note off the top, which gets attention right away. Lalique, I'm gonna go White in Black. So that one smells similar to Parfums de Marly Layton in a whole bunch of ways, only it is way cheaper, and in typical Lalique fashion, the quality is way higher than the price you're gonna pay. At least as long as you buy at discounters, but realistically, you should be doing that most of the time anyway. Ralph Lauren, I'm going Polo 67 Eau de Parfum. Really similar to the Eau de Toilette in a lot of ways, but this one has more of a fresh, sweet fruitiness off the top, and then more of a pronounced woodiness as it dries down. And when it comes to Ralph Lauren, actually, a lot of their fragrances, I think, are in that second spot for me. So I'm gonna say Ralph's Club, the Eau de Parfum. A lot of people love Ralph's Club Elixir as well. Polo Blue has a lot of different flankers that kind of all jockey for the same position. And Polo Red can work very well also. So kind of all of those, they are all really good at pulling positive attention. I kind of put them together like in their own tier. Also just makes it quicker right now because there's more to come. Burberry, I'm gonna go Hero Eau de Parfum. The Hero line, very successful. I think the easiest to pull off is the Eau de Toilette and the Eau de Parfum, those two. But overall, the Eau de Parfum is the deeper, richer, bolder of the two between the EDT and EDP. Great for fall and winter use. Big time compliment puller. If you're looking for more of just a fresh, woody scent, like fresh, spicy woody, go with the EDT. But if you're just looking for the best of the line, it's that one. Jean Paul Gaultier, first off, Scandal Absolute. So this one has a really attention-grabbing plum as soon as you spray it on. Deep, sweet, but a little bit dark as well. And then as it dries down, a nice creamy sandalwood and chestnut in there. So it's got this kind of cozy, sexy feel to it with really good performance. And then the other one, Le Beau Le Parfum. Now I know some people might say, no, you gotta have Le Male Le Parfum, you gotta have Le Male Elixir, right? But when it comes down to it, only two fragrances. I'm taking one from Le Male Le Beau, one from Scandal, and that's just how it is. And for me, in terms of compliments, that one is the best from the whole Le Beau Le Male lineup. Creamy, sweet, tropical, perfect for fall and spring. Also summer, as long as you don't spray too much, and works well during winter as well. Bulgari, going Man in Black. So Man in Black, similar to Spice Bomb in a bunch of ways. Super masculine fragrance, get a lot going on there. You know, tobacco, booze, leather, strong, classy, sexy, dark. Valentino, I'm gonna go Born in Roma Intense, and also Coral Fantasy. So Born in Roma Intense, that one makes use of vanilla, That is very popular right now, really always has been, along with lavender and vetiver, and then coral fantasy over here. Bunch of apple off the top, fresh, sweet, and as it dries down, little tobacco. These two, absolutely amazing in the air as well. Hermes, gonna go Eau Givre. Now, some people with Hermes may argue H24. You know, H24, Eau de Toilette, Eau de Parfum, Herbe Vive, whatever. But H24 has never worked very well for me off my skin. Haven't really gotten very good feedback. And it does seem like that type of fragrance, H24, the line, that if it works for you, it'll work really well. But, you know, you do run a higher risk, I would say a much higher risk with H24 of having some people just be like, ugh, not for me. Eau Givre, pretty safe. A lot of citrus off the top. A little bit rindy, but not too much. And then as it dries down, fresh, clean, woodsy. With Azzaro, the most wanted, both Parfum and Original. These are similar in a lot of ways. They are also similar to maybe some other fragrances out there. It's a pretty popular scent profile. It's another one that's very deep, rich, sweet. The Parfum version has like a touch of smokiness in there. It has incandescent woods and also red ginger, which will set it apart a little bit from this one over here, which is a little more toffee. Both are super good though. Both really nice performance too. Gentleman Eau de Toilette Intense from Givenchy. So when it comes to this house, I mean, right now it's the gentleman line, right? And the new society fragrances in terms of compliments for me, not as good as the previous line of gentleman fragrances. I would say Eau de Toilette Intense, probably the most versatile of that line. Reserve Privé, also very good, just as good as this one in terms of compliments, but that's a little more fall, winter centric. And also the Eau de Toilette, sometimes overlooked, that one's very good as well. But if I'm going just one, max versatility, gonna be that one. We're on the home stretch. Chanel is next, BDC, EDP. You have to have a Bleu de Chanel if you're talking compliments, versatility, just like you have to have a Sauvage from Dior. And just like Sauvage being the Eau de Parfum and Yves Saint Laurent Y being the Eau de Parfum, Bleu de Chanel is also the Eau de Parfum. And that's because, like the other two, it splits the difference. It gives you the best things from each version, at least for most people, if they're looking to get just one. If you want to get down to the nitty gritty, the Eau de Toilette is better than the Eau de Parfum in some things, and the Parfum is better in some things also. But we're looking for jacks of all trades here. Next up, Allure Homme Sport. Eau Extreme, also I thought about, but Allure Homme Sport, the OG, still works so well. Spring and summer, it is a masterpiece. Similar to Versace Pour Homme and Missoni Wave in a bunch of ways, but a little bit creamier, a little bit deeper than those two. Carolina Herrera up next, and I picked two from Bad Boy. I got Cobalt and Elixir. Now there are other good fragrances Herrera has made, but when it comes down to just overall versatility, Bad Boy Cobalt. Fresh, aromatic, sweet. And Bad Boy Elixir are gonna be more fall, winter time, but I feel like the original Bad Boy and some of the other flankers that came after it that have that more like chocolatey type of note breakdown scent profile. This one takes that and really refines it. It's the best version of that right now and works very well during fall and winter. Paco Rabanne, I'm going Invictus Victory Elixir, have to. Love the scent, great performance. Another one that is vanilla forward, but even though it has that similarity with a number of other fragrances here, I think it could be the best of the best that really focuses in on that vanilla. And then 1 Million Lucky. And as I've harped on in this video, it is a great mix of fresh and sweet, has some other deeper notes in there as it dries down, but really you can use that year round, and it's pretty unique as well amongst other designer fragrances. Another nice plum note in this one. We're gonna finish on Armani, and I have one from Emporio Armani and one from Giorgio Armani. So I'm going Acqua di Gio, Parfum, and Stronger With You, absolutely. Some of the caveats I've already said apply here. Acqua di Gio Profondo, also great. Acqua di Gio Eau de Toilette works extremely well. Stronger With You Intensely, very good. Stronger With You Tobacco, Stronger With You Leather, Stronger With You Original. All of those also very good at compliments. But Acqua di Gio Parfum, this is the most popular in the line. For most people that are really into fragrances. This one in Profondo I love equally. It has a nice deepness to it that makes it where you can wear it during the evening and frankly year round. And then Stronger With You, absolutely. This one slightly more grown up than Stronger With You Intensely. and has a great boozy aspect to it as well. So there we go. Here we go. I'm not exactly sure how many fragrances this is. Looks like 42, unless I miscounted, which is possible. But this is a big bunch of the biggest designer brands. And if you were narrowing it down to 1 or 2 fragrances per brand, if you're after just versatility and compliments, focusing more on compliments, these are the best. Thank you guys so much for hanging with me through all of these different scents. I know there are some brands I didn't talk about, and as new things come out, this will change, obviously. Some of these will fall off and be replaced. So I'll update this as necessary and add some other brands in, maybe do some other ones in the future. Thank you guys so much. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourself. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you later.